Hello, my name is Dr. Vanyo Vezirov, and in today's video we're going to talk about the spinal cord. We're going to talk about the thoracic vertebra, we're going to talk about the lumbar vertebra, and we're going to talk about the sacrum bone. So let's get started, and remember, I'm going to tell you very important things and I deserve one subscribe. So please subscribe to my channel, Dr. Vezirov. Let's start!
And guys, this video is sponsored by the fantastic company for 3D printing of medical products, including anatomical models of all vertebrae of the spine, OS Education, and you can buy a set of anatomical models from oseducation.eu. So this is one thoracic vertebra, and as you can see, the typical thing for this vertebra is that it has a body. It is called corpus in Latin. And it has these pediculus arcus vertebrae, which are structures that are combined together and they create the arcus vertebra. Thoracic vertebra has processus transversus as well as processus spinosus, which are located in the specific areas. One more very interesting thing is that typically for the thoracic vertebra is that they are connected with the ribs, and their connection can be seen on two interesting places. It's called fovea costalis superior and fovea costalis inferior, and you can see them over here. This is the place where the rib is connected with the thoracic vertebra. These are the superior ones and of course the inferior one, fovea costalis inferior. The next important thing is connected with the articulatory zone. It is called processus articularis superior, and you can see that processus articularis superior are facing backwards and the down processus articularis inferior are facing frontwards. So basically you can see how this vertebra is orientated in the human body. So the next thing which is very specific is fovea costalis processus transversus. It is located right here, and you can see that this is another part where the rib joins. On this picture you can see the two places where the vertebra is connected with the rib. So the next thing is foramen vertebrale, which is with oval shape, and these are the most important things for the thoracic vertebra. Let's continue with the next one. So the next vertebra is the lumbar vertebra. It is with typical structure. We have here very big and massive body, corpus. This is very typical, the massive body for the lumbar spine, because they need to obtain the whole body weight. We have facies intervertebralis, which is the place where two vertebrae are connected. The next thing we can see are these processus. They are called processus costalis, and basically these processus are rudimental ribs connected to the arcus of the lumbar spine vertebrae. We have processus articularis superior and processus articularis inferior, which are the place where this lumbar spine is connected with the other vertebra. We have processus spinosus, as we can see here, processus spinosus, and of course foramen vertebrale. It is where the spinal cord passes. We have very interesting thing which is called processus accessorius, located around here. It is auditory processor. And we have processus mammillaris. It is something typical for the vertebrae. So when we continue observing this vertebrae, we can see again, of course, foramen vertebrale, but something important. It is connected with the processus articularis superior. We can see that processus articularis superior and their faces, which are located right here, they are faced medially. So medially faced processus articularis, which are the upper, and laterally faced processus articularis inferior. So basically, foramen vertebrale, it is with triangle shape. Rather than the cervical vertebra, it is smaller than the foramen vertebrale of the cervical spine, and basically these are the most important things for the lumbar spine. And now we continue with sacrum bone, or os sacrum in Latin. As we can see, it has a triangular shape, and the name of this bone comes from sacrificing pits in the past, because when the animals were burned down, this bone was the only one left. So basically this is where os sacrum or sacric bone came from. So basically, as I told you, this bone has a triangular shape and it has several faces or fascias. So let's start first with the first one. It is called basis ossis sacri, and here we can see one place with oval shape which is connected with L5. It is located right here. So the next thing we can observe on sacrum bone is this protrusion. It is facing, it is part of facies pelvica, and it is called promontorium. From basis ossis crani there are two added processes articularis superior. You can see them very well. They are connected again with L5. So the lateral parts are called ala ossis sacri, and from the downside we can see apex ossis sacri, which we can observe the tailbone. So basically the tailbone is connected directly with the sacralic bone, or the os sacrum, the sacrum bone. And yes, we can oops, excuse me for that, I will secretly hide the course book. Yes, so we have two surfaces. The front surface is concave and it is called facies pelvica, and the rear surface, it is convex and it's called facies dorsalis. We have several lines which are called lineae transversae, and they are constructed by the adhesion of the sacric vertebrae. Laterally, these lineae are ending at 4 pairs of foramina sacralia anteriora, or openings, and they have their relevant openings from the backside, which we call them foramina sacralia posterior. Facies dorsalis, we have 5 bumpy ridges. So the middle one is constructed by processi spinosi, of the adhesion of processi spinosi of yes, it is called crista sacralis mediana, and it is constructed by processi spinosi of the sacralic vertebrae. Sideways, this ridge has 2 more ridges. They are called crista sacralis medialis, and they are constructed by adhesion of ocular processes, and they are ending with 2 horns which are called cornua sacralia. And laterally from crista sacralis medialis we can observe crista sacralis lateralis. They are constructed by adhesion of processus transversus of this specific vertebrae. So the lower opening, it is called hiatus sacralis, and we have upper opening, which is foramen vertebrale. It is located right here. So basically these are the most important things connected with the anatomical model of the os sacrum or sacrum bone. We can continue from the lateral part of the bone. There is a surface called facies auricularis because it looks like ear, auricula, and it is connected with the same surface of the hip bone. We have a rough area which is called tuberositas sacralis. So these are the most important things for os sacrum. The next bone is called the tailbone, and it is very small, and it is connected from, in Latin it is called os coccygeus, and it is connected from the vertebrae of the tail. It is a rudimentary organ in the human body, and we can observe only several specific things. There are 3 vertebrae of the tailbone, and it looks like a pyramid turned upside down. On the first vertebrae we can observe residues of processi transversi, which are called cornoacoccygeae, and they are located on the first and the biggest vertebrae of the bone.
Thank you very much for watching this video. So now it's time to subscribe. Click that button. Come on, subscribe.